So welcome today to the lovely Frida Kabo, who is joining us as part of our homegrown series, Champions of Change, and inspiring women to lead not only in business, but also in life. And to give everyone a bit of a short intro on Frida, Frida is from Sweden originally, which you will probably pick up. She's now based in Raglan, New Zealand, and is the founder of Frida Kabo LifeSpider Coach and Possibility Explorer, which I can't wait to hear more about shortly. And as I mentioned earlier, Frida, thank you so much for joining us as part of the series and sharing some of your story, some inspiration, and of course some advice to all those that are looking to either start or grow a business, either a product or a service, depending on what it is that they are interested in. As I mentioned, I'm more excited to hear about, your journey, LifeSpider coaching and possibility exploring. And I will hand it over to you. And first up, I would love it if you could share with us a little bit about yourself, not only business, but I guess a little bit about your background as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'm really excited to be here. And thank you for having me. My name is Frida Kabo. I moved from Sweden to Raglan 3 years ago with my family, so my husband and 2 kids, because we wanted to try something else in Sweden, and why not New Zealand? It seemed like a wonderful country, and we are so happy about our choice. So I'm a LifeSpider Coach and Possibility Explorer, and that is from my own experience of having checked all the boxes that I needed to check, like kids, house, education, work, villa, and Volvo, like you do in Sweden, and all of those things. And that I thought I needed to be happy, and I was still not happy. So then I started to look for the answers and look for what I wanted, because I felt like I've been following what you should do and what I thought someone else expected of me. So that's when I found the LifeSpider system, or it found me. And I went through the process of getting my own LifeSpider, and I was just hooked. I knew I wanted to do that and help others with that as well. And the Possibility Explorer is, the saying is, when nothing is certain, anything is possible. And I really believe that, because there are not many certain things in life. The only certain thing is that we will die. So anything else is possible. Yeah. It's just how to make it possible. But it is.
And can you share a little bit more about the LifeSpider Coach? Like, I've never heard of that term before. What's kind of involve or entail?
Yep, so I am the first and only LifeSpider Coach in New Zealand so far. It's a tool that comes from, the founder is from Sweden, but she lives in California. So the model looks like a spider, and you really get to know who you are, where you're going, your passions, because often we look for one passion. We're trying to find that one passion, but in reality, you have 6 different passions. And it's also to look at, why do I react in certain ways? So you have all of that in your LifeSpider. And it's also built on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So we have everything, and many of us are standing on the top of that hierarchy of needs and trying to get more of what we already have. Bigger house, more money, like all of that. But really, we're standing on the top, and we need to look above and see, okay, what's next? How can I, with the uniqueness that I am, contribute to the world? What can I offer? And really see what have those lessons that I've been having, how can I help others with those as well?
Yeah, great. How interesting. That's a really interesting way to, I guess, a really interesting concept and framework, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the people that you work with, like, do you work with men and women, or is it predominantly one or the other? And is it for those that I guess are looking who have ticked all those boxes and they're looking for that internal happiness or potentially more, purpose? Or how do people come and work with you? What is it that they're looking for?
So I've had all sorts of people. Yeah, for me, everyone should have the LifeSpider. Everyone would benefit from having a LifeSpider, and that's one of my life missions, to spread the LifeSpider. But the ones that I tend to work most with is the ones that resonates with my story, of course, that have ticked the boxes and that want something more out of life and feel that they are a bit stuck where they are, and they want something more, something different, but don't really know what that is.
Yeah, great. I love it.
Mm.
And I believe that you started your business in 2016. Is that right?
Yeah.
How's it been going since then?
Yeah, good. I've been changing continent and everything, so there's been really big changes. I have a master in service management, so that was my background is within the hospitality industry. So that's where I started thinking that I would help business owners with their service, and that's where I started. So I wanted to start a business for a really long time, but I was waiting for the right idea. And then I realized it would never come. So just start. I just need to start and just do it. So I looked at, okay, what is it that I can? And that was service. So I started to do those ideal client interviews, asking a lot of questions. How can I help? Blah, blah. What do you need? And that's when I realized, and also by going through the coaching process myself, that it was much more effective and it was much more my talent to ask the questions that help them find the answers than actually giving the advice. Because it's so much more powerful with questions, because when you ask questions and someone comes up with their own answers, they will do it. But when someone else is telling, oh, this is how you can do it, then it's not anchored in that person. And it's not as likely that they will do it or that it will even fit their situation.
Yeah.
So,
Great. So starting in 2016, you'd be celebrating nearly a 3-year anniversary. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that there has been lots of challenges along the way. So is there one challenge for you that really kind of stands out that was maybe more or harder than any other challenge? And, I guess that's something that you thought, gosh, I don't know if I'm going to get through this one. Is there anything that kind of stands out?
So what I think has been hardest for me is not knowing. And with the own business, there's a lot of not knowing, and also trusting the process. So I've been pivoting a lot of times with what I should do, with who I should work with, and yeah, changing market, changing continent, even though I work with both New Zealand and Swedish clients still. It's been a lot of big transitions that have impacted the business more than I thought. But it's so interesting to observe yourself in those situations and to really grow through it.
Yeah. I can really relate to that as well. And I'm sure that you and I won't be the only two that start businesses and then relocate to other parts of the world.
Yeah.
Although I went from Australia to New Zealand, you've gone from Sweden to New Zealand, which is substantially different.
Yeah.
I guess it really does. It is challenging. And like you, I never probably thought that it would be as challenging as what it was. Because I guess, you're going from a market which you've started to grow yourself in and be recognized in to a whole new market and kind of almost starting again, but not from the very start, but having to find your feet and build a brand and get some awareness. And then, of course, start attracting more clients from, a different part of the world. So I can definitely resonate with that challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. How have you been finding it so far? Are you finding that it is starting to move forward now?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, so and also with the culture to know how similar there are or what the differences are, that is really interesting. And I can imagine that you've had that as well. Like you can think that New Zealand and Australia, they are so close, so they should be similar. But I know even Sweden and Finland are quite different. So it's about finding the way through those differences and similarities. And in the end, we're all human. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely found, even though Australia and New Zealand are so close, that there are definitely differences.
mm,
It's been an interesting journey, but also like you as well, it's also, personally challenging to pick your life up and relocate and settle down and focus on, the clients that you've got and then moving forward and, and all of the unknown. I'm like you, I love certainty, and I really have had to learn not to love control so much, because when you have a business, as you mentioned, you really have to learn to trust the process. But yeah, it's definitely, for anyone out there who's thinking about doing it or has done it and is finding it a little bit challenging, you're not alone. We can say that the challenge is real, but you just take it one step at a time, I guess. That's probably what I focused on, and probably what you did as well. It's like, right, we've been here before. Now what's the one step you need to do to move forward without the overwhelm?
yes, definitely.
So, it's perfect. And I guess, we have got an audience of women potentially thinking about starting a business, or they have, and they're feeling a little bit challenged, through the journey. For those women who have been thinking about starting a business, what would be your, I guess, key piece of advice about starting a business in today's world?
Well, just do it. That would be my advice. Don't think too much. Like it's easy to just get stuck in the thinking phase, but actually, it's when you take the action and when you actually do it that you create the clarity that you need. And you're not going to end up where you think anyway. So there's no point in thinking everything out.
Yeah,
It's not how it works.
no.
And yeah.
And I know a lot of people sometimes get stuck in the phase of, do I need a website? Do I launch a Facebook business page? Do I start a group? Do I, do all these things? And,
Yeah.
looking back on your journey, is there one platform or one thing that you would have done before you kind of decided to take the action? Like, or I guess did it just naturally unfold in the perfect scenario, and it all fall into place quite simply?
Yeah, my advice would be, like, there's so many experts out there. So do find one platform that you really enjoy, because that's where you're gonna have success. It, no one else has the answer for you. And also, business is all about relationships. No matter which platform you use, it's about relationships. So yeah, be human and do what you love.
Yeah, that's really great advice. I talk to so many people who think that having a website is going to bring them hundreds of customers or clients, or
Mm.
having an Instagram page is going to be the answer to their prayers. But in reality, they're all amazing platforms, and, they're all great tools, but you are the person that brings the brand and the awareness and drives the traffic to the platforms, not the platforms driving traffic to you.
Yeah, so true.
That startup phase.
Mm,
Yeah,
so
and
true.
improve relationships. So great advice. And how about for that woman who, we're heading into 2020, a whole new decade, and, and a lot of people seem to have started businesses around 2015 and 16. There was clearly something going on in the atmosphere for people wanting to make some very big changes in life, myself included. The business journey can be challenging. I'm sure that you can appreciate it brings up every single insecurity or limiting belief that you didn't know you had, and you have to work through that. It's not just starting and growing a business, it's growing yourself into the and working with the business alongside that. And it can be really challenging. And, a lot of people go, gosh, it would be so much easier to stay in my day job, or just go back to a job because I don't have all these external pressures or having to think constantly about what I'm going to do next. Do you have any, I guess, piece of advice to that woman who's looking for a bit of inspiration to keep going and to keep chasing her dream, whether that be her business, her finances, her lifestyle, or whatever I guess it is that they're after?
Yeah, so I don't know how many times I've been thinking that I should get a job instead. Uh, and we all have days like that. But it's also with the business, I also feel more alive. And I also feel that I'm in it for the freedom to be with my kids when I want and to have the everyday that I want and that I dream of. And I'm on my way there. It's a journey. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's a journey to figure out what you like and what you really want, because sometimes things that we actually want is not what we want in the end when we're there. So it's a journey about figuring out who you are, what you want to do, and where you're going, and it's not going to end. And I think that's part of the motivation for a lot of people. They want to feel more alive, and alive means feeling all the feelings, not just the happy ones, but all the feelings. So
Yeah, I
just,
agree.
yeah, just keep on.
Keep going.
Yeah.
And I guess, as I kind of mentioned at the start, and as you know, the purpose of the series is talking about homegrown, and really, I guess, talking to predominantly New Zealanders and Australians, because it's close to home, and I personally wanted to be able to make a bit more of an impact in that market. And the other side of this is to talk about being champions of change, whether it be in life or business. And I'm curious to know what championing change means to you.
Yeah. So for me, it's a lot about listening into what you want, because I believe that if we all are who we are meant to be here on Earth, we will also make the change in the world that we're here to do. And I feel if we're listening into what feels interesting and what feels meaningful to us, we're going to make a difference for other people as well. So.
Thanks. So I have loved meeting with you and hearing snippets of your story, and I really find what you do fascinating, and I'm sure that there'll be others out there as well who are looking for more happiness, to create more freedom, more flexibility, but I guess just really find what lights their soul and their heart on fire, which you can definitely help them do that. So for anyone, I guess, who has listened or watched our time together and your story resonates with them, or what you do resonates with them, and they're looking for someone to help them find more of that internal happiness, or create more of an amazing life than they've already got, how would someone go about reaching out to you for either advice or to find out more about what you do and how you could help them?
Yep. So you find me on fridakabo.com, and I have a surprise for you if you write /homegrown, and there's a surprise for you there. You can also find me on social media under my name. And yeah, looking forward to hear from you if you feel it resonates with you.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to go and push /homegrown and find out what the surprise is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for offering that. And and I just really encourage anyone out there who's just looking for, maybe set some really big goals moving into 2020 and beyond, and is recognizing that they need some help, to reach out to you and, and have a chat to see whether you're the right person for them to be able to do that.
Great.
So thank you again for your time today, Frida. It's been great meeting with you, and good luck for 2020. And I look forward to being able to follow more of your journey as well, and understand more about what you do, and see you continuing to help others change their life. So it's been great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very exciting.